Orange County Sheriff John Mina, meanwhile, says charges are on the way for anti-Semitic demonstrators who allegedly got into a fight with a UCF student. Spectrum News 13's Rebecca Turco, she's joining us live in the very area where that UCF student was hurt. It's a few miles away from campus, this near the intersection of Waterford Lakes and Alafaya Trail. Rebecca, you spoke with an expert who says social media is really helping these neo-Nazis continue to grow.
That's partly how they keep growing, Tammy. These groups, of course, are nothing new, but I'm told they are on the momentum, not just nationwide, but also right here in Central Florida.
Michael Shaw was driving from the grocery store Saturday afternoon when he says he saw something that stuck with him, something that scared him.
White power! White power!
A group of people yelling profanities, shouting anti-Semitic slurs, several wearing Nazi garb.
I think I just remember thinking to myself, like, oh man, this is where I live, like this is here.
As Shaw walks the UCF campus, he's shocked to learn a student was attacked that day. Orange County Sheriff Mina says some demonstrators got into a fight with a driver passing by, hitting a UCF student, spitting on him. The sheriff says charges are on the way for 3 people.
All these situations are very dynamic.
The demonstrations come as no surprise to Mark Winton. He's a senior lecturer in UCF's Criminal Justice Department. He says neo-Nazi groups have been on the rise for decades, but it's even faster now thanks to social media.
Hate groups have become experts at using social media, at recruiting, at radicalizing.
And Mark says that makes them harder to track, harder to know how many people are involved. He says the level of violence can vary, but the threat looms, like we saw in Daytona Beach Monday, when police say someone pledging ties to a neo-Nazi group placed bomb and shooting threats to Bethune-Cookman University, one of more than a dozen historically black colleges and universities to receive bomb threats in recent days.
When you get violent predation, that they go beyond violent behavior to the extremes of violent behavior, we're in a very dangerous situation.
Mark recommends every law enforcement agency has someone dedicated to hate crimes to help monitor and curb them. He says the community needs to speak out too. Michael, meanwhile, wants this vitriol out of his city.
What does that say about our community if there are people saying those things and saying anti-Semitic things and waving swastikas around?
Now, we'll let you know when we hear from the sheriff's office on the charges stemming from Saturday's fight here. Meanwhile, Mark says he expects those who are involved in this to also be charged with hate crime on top of their other charges, which would further enhance those charges. Reporting live in Orlando, Rebecca Turco, Spectrum News 13.